this short 10-minute class is for anyone that's ever been told that they need to heal their low back pain by losing weight, that they can't find any cause for their chronic low back pain, or that the only options that they have are medication. I want to offer you an 8-minute movement class that is deeply rooted in somatic yoga, that uses clinical somatics and the deep mind-body practice of yoga integrated together to address not only the chronic tension that has built up in this area due to a repeatedly dysregulated nervous system, right? This is trauma, this is repeated stress, this is your inability once activated to come back down into a regulated state. So your nervous system ends up immobilized in a state of fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. Now, freeze is really like an elevated state of dissociation where you can no longer just manage what's happening in life, and so you disconnect from it. When we scroll through our phones, it's our favorite disconnect. So chronic pain also causes us to disconnect. Now, when we spend enough time in this activated state and we're not finding ourselves in this rest, digest, and heal in the parasympathetic nervous system, then that chronic tension in the body, right? The muscles contract. The fascia that covers the muscles and the joints and the organs thickens and constricts to help support you emotionally in your physical body, right? Your physical body moves each time you have a deep emotion, each time that you have fear, sorrow, worry, anxiety. The physical body contracts and stiffens to help support us. And so that's why we end up carrying a lot of chronic pain here in the low back and hips, because the low back and hips, the pelvis, holds the weight of the whole trunk of your body. It's doing so much work all the time. And so in this class, we address not only the nervous system through somatic work, right? We're going to do some vagal toning here, but we're also going to integrate the mindful awareness of yoga and also the principle in yoga of becoming the witness. As we move through these exercises, they're going to seem simple. You're going to feel possibly impatient inside. And I want you to simply breathe deep into that space. Observe what is happening without judgment, right? Can you let your thoughts and feelings flow through you and just watch them happen as you move with deep, slow awareness? And if you practice this, right? If you do it twice a week, for the next 3 weeks, you're going to notice a huge difference. I'm going to release 2 other 10-minute videos. Now, if you do those 3 videos in succession, right, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, for the next 6 weeks, it's going to change your whole damn life, right? We take it slow, we take it low, because we're not just dealing with the physical body, we're also dealing with the energetic body, which is deeply emotional. So here we go. You're going to grab a yoga strap. If you don't have a yoga strap, it's a winter scarf, it's a dog leash. Get creative. Anything can be a yoga prop if you let it, right? And then we'll start by, hi baby girl, sitting, planting the pads of our feet. Yes. And then we're going to slowly roll back against the earth. And then take time to check in with your body. Do you want to slide the feet a little closer to your butt cheeks? Do you want to scoot those shoulder blades together, kind of open up through the heart center? Do you want to adjust how the hips are situated so the full length of the spine can melt into your mat? Just become present with your body as you lie here. What we're going to do is the arch and flatten. So our first move is to arch the back. We do this by pressing the tailbone down into the earth. So notice as I press my tailbone down, right, the pelvis rocks forward and opens up. The belly lifts skyward. Now I want you to imagine there's a string tied to your belly button and it's pulling gently up towards the sky. And with each deep breath, you're just going to let the belly lift with that gentle string. Here, you find this gentle low back arch. The lumbar spine, right, is shortened here. And we're just breathing space into the front body, Breathing space into that open pelvic bowl. And then on your next exhale, flatten, relax. Let that low back that was once arched just melt directly back down. Here, when we're retraining these chronically tensed muscles, right, we want to do it slowly, repetitiously, and we want to make sure that when we soften after moments of exertion, that we're softening completely. Because if we are only softening a little bit, then the muscles don't have time to completely relax, and they need that. On your next breath in, arch once more. Press that tailbone down. The pelvic bowl rolls skyward. Belly button reaches with each breath in. And you might notice as you do this, you might follow from the belly button, your mind's awareness, all the way up into the back of the head here. Can you notice as the belly lifts, as the low back arches, that you might be pressing through the back of your head? Maybe you're not. Maybe you do so now. And see if that can assist with this arch just a little bit. We're just exploring. We're opening up the front body. Don't be afraid to breathe space into the belly, right? Invite space. And then on your next exhale, flatten, let go, release all the effort. The next thing you're going to do is the curl. So instead of arching and pressing that tailbone down, we're going to curl that tailbone up towards the heart. So to do this, press through the pads of your feet. Feel the tailbone begin to curl up towards your heart center. And now you might notice that that lumbar spine, instead of arching and lifting from the earth, it's rounding and really pressing down. So can you press that lumbar spine deep into your mat as you curl that tailbone up towards the heart center? And you might notice here, right? It really helps to press to the pads of those feet. And you're not using the head anymore. You can lift it. Take a moment to do so, you might, and then rest it back down. Notice where effort is building, right? You might feel it in the quads here. You might feel it in the glutes, the low back. We're creating space in the lumbar spine. This is important for compressed tissue, compressed nerves. So we're making space here, right? We're also strengthening the low belly. This is great for supporting the hips. Relax and flatten when you're ready. Melt, let it all go. Appreciate the release and the softening. Let it be as valuable as the effort, right? And the strength building. Both are so necessary. The light and the dark, the yin and the yang, the effort and the rest, the season of growth and the season of hibernation. Your body needs those same things, right? When you're ready, let's combine the arch and the curl. And we'll do it nice and slow with the breath. So on an inhale, reach that belly skyward, arch that low back, press the tailbone down. Hold this for a breath or two. Really opening up through the front body. Maybe acknowledging once more the effort through the back of the head or the shoulders here. And then on an exhale, slowly begin to curl the tailbone in, pressing through the pads of the feet. Hold for a breath or two, really pressing that lumbar spine down as you curl the tailbone in. And then inhale, arch. Exhale, flatten. Move at the pace of your own breath. You see how you can just do this in bed to wake up? Your hips and low back will become your best friend. You're also deeply addressing chronic tension that has lived and built up in the muscles and the fascia of this part of your body, right? And when you strengthen and release, which is what's happening in the front of the pelvis and the back of the pelvis, right? So the low belly and the low back are both experiencing a lengthening and a strengthening, right? Strengthening, lengthening. Really loving on the whole of the pelvis and addressing many, many of the reasons for chronic low back pain. All right, from here. Now, a lot of us might experience one-sided low back pain or pain that's focused more on the hip. We're going to add a little bit of a twist to this to address that. So we're going to lengthen through the left leg, press through the heel of that foot, flex the toes towards the heart. This is going to help stretch through the back body. And then we're going to continue the arch and the flatten just like we know it. Inhale, arch. Exhale, curl. Excuse me. Inhale, arch. Exhale, curl. You might notice how it feels in the pelvis to have this left leg extended. How has it changed sensation, right? We're really addressing the left hip flexors, gluteus minimus. There's a lot happening here. From here, bend that left leg, extend the right, pressing through the heel to really lengthen the back body, and then arch and curl with your breath. We're moving with our breath, right? That's a meditative practice. It helps calm and focus the mind. And then we're also taking these deep breaths into the belly to arch and these big exhales to curl, exploring the full range of our motion and at the same time stimulating the vagal nerves through the breath to calm the nervous system, to bring it into a regulated state. So you can see how doing this a few times a week for a few minutes is really life-changing. Now bend that right knee in. An option to take this a step further and really get into the iliopsoas rather intensely is going to be to draw the knee in towards the chest. So press through the pad of that right foot, draw that left knee in. This is where a strap is really handy, and I'm going to encourage you to use it because you might strap on the shin or you might grab the back of the calf. Either way, a little brace here. The first thing that we'll do is invite that knee up towards the heart center. If you're like me and you have a tummy, you might gently pull it to the inside or widen the knee out before inviting it up towards the heart. This is just so that I'm not compressing my beautiful belly into a space that it's not enjoying. So from here, we're going to arch and flatten. So press into the pad of that right foot. On an exhale, curl the tailbone in. Inhale, arch, pressing through the back of the head. Moving with the pelvis. You'll notice that the knee pulled in towards the heart center is going to rock with the pelvis. Let it. If it doesn't feel good to brace the leg, you can definitely do it without it, especially if you're in bed and you don't have a strap nearby. Don't stress it. Let it be messy. Imperfection is such a source and a fount of healing. Beautiful. And then once more, you're going to pull it in towards the heart center. Lengthen it towards the sky, really pressing through the heel, flex the toes towards the heart, and then we're going to lower, lengthen it on down. Beautiful. Bring it in. Let's switch sides. Right knee in towards the heart. Curl and arch. Moving with your breath. Letting it be messy and imperfect. Knowing you are building strength. Releasing tension, retraining your nervous system, calming your mind just by showing up. What a badass you are. Breathe some of that good energy into your body. Breathe some of that awesomeness down into the low back. Beautiful. From here, pull the knee in towards the heart. Lengthen it skyward. Press through the heel lower. Bend that knee in when you're ready. To end, we're going to heel toe the feet out about mat width apart, right? A little wider than shoulder. And then you're going to drop the left knee down inward towards the earth. So that left inner thigh presses down. And then you're going to be tempted to roll that right knee out towards the right. But instead, we're going to squeeze those inner thighs together. Yep, just take a moment and squeeze. Only as hard as feels good. And then release, switch sides. Lower that knee down as far as it wants to go. Really more so pressing through that right inner thigh. And then squeezing your thighs together. Hold the effort. You've got this. All right, let's move with the breath. Inhale, open. Exhale, lower and squeeze. Inhale, open. Exhale, lower and squeeze. Let's do one more time to either side. And there you have it. Follow along for more moves that will absolutely begin to heal your relationship with your body and help mitigate the chronic pain that you're experiencing. All right. Remember that the light and the dark in me sees the light and the dark in you. There's room for both.